Hey there, it's Fry the Realtor here, and I have a very burning question for you. It's one that you may have even asked yourself, and that is, do realtors even matter? And I've got an answer for you, and it may surprise you. In fact, this may be one of the most controversial videos I've ever made. Hey, before I get into all that, would you do me a favor? Would you mash that subscribe button right there and subscribe to my YouTube channel? And don't forget to click the little bell icon after you've subscribed to make sure you get updates every time I put up a new, cool, fun, and very interesting video just like this one. So I'm not going to bury the lead on this one. I'm just going to come right out and say, and here's a controversial part coming especially from me, a realtor, and that is I'm going to say that no, realtors do not matter. If you believe that realtors don't matter, if you believe that in fact, like the realtor you choose doesn't really matter because the market does set the price and what your realtor does has nothing to do with how much money you're going to walk away with when it closes, in that case, why wouldn't you pick a realtor that has a lower commission structure than some other realtor, right? That makes perfect sense, total perfect sense. Well, if that's the case, if that's what you believe, why find a realtor who is only 20% less than most other agents? Why not go for a realtor who charges 50% less than most other agents? Heck, why not just go for a flat fee listing system where you just pay, a flat fee of whatever, I don't know what they charge, but let's call it $1,000. $1,000 to list your home on the multiple listing service so all buyers can see it. Right? And then the buyer, they can just pay their own agent. You don't care. You're not paying for it. Why not just sell your house that way? Because you're going to get the same price either way, right? Because the market sets the price. The realtor really has no value, right? Why not just do it that way? That's because I think people realize here in the Bay Area that there is some value to a realtor, but how much value, right? I mean, like, is it possible? Is it possible if that realtors provide a value, which I think the overwhelming percentage of people here in the Bay Area realize that realtors provide some value, is it not then possible that some realtors provide more value than other realtors? Maybe some realtors provide much, much more value than other realtors, right? In which case, the question you might want to ask yourself isn't, how much does that realtor charge me, right? Because that doesn't really necessarily matter. What really matters to you is how much is that realtor going to help me walk away with at the closing table? What's my net going to be? Because that really is the job of your realtor, is to make sure that you net the most amount of money. But how can you know before your house is actually sold, before you even sign a listing agreement with a realtor, how can you actually know how much value that realtor is actually going to provide for you? How can you be sure that if you pay a realtor a higher commission or even the same commission or whatever than some other realtor, that they are actually going to provide a superior value, that you're going to get a lot more than what you're paying for? How do you know that? Well, that's a very good question. And, in a market like this where, you hear this a lot, well, houses just sell themselves, right? I mean, like, just put a sign in the yard, your house is going to sell and you're going to a ton of money for it, right? You hear that a lot. And times like this, especially if you believe that the market sets the price for your home and like nothing else matters, is all market price. If that's the case, then yeah, what value could a realtor possibly be if houses are selling themselves? If you are interviewing realtors and your realtor tells you, hey, listen, I'm less expensive than the average commission, and here's how much less than the average commission happens to be, whatever the realtor says the average or whatever you've determined appears to be the average. If that realtor says, yeah, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut my commission, right? So this realtor here is negotiating with you on how much the realtor is going to get paid, right? So the realtor is telling you, like, I don't really feel that I provide very much value. Because even in a market like this, which is so hot and so fast moving and houses sell themselves, even in a market like this, there's one important thing that a realtor can do to provide their value, and that is negotiate with buyers, right? Now, if you are working with a realtor who right from the get-go is already proving themselves to be a very poor negotiator, offering up their own commission to you, what do you think that's going to look like when they're actually negotiating with some other buyer's agents? And I bring that up because of a very interesting thing that happened to me just this very day. So I put in an offer for a buyer on a home yesterday, and I'd been in communication with the agent, and we put our offer in, and it was a great offer, way over asking price. I mean, like a huge down payment, a very qualified buyer, and then the offer deadline comes, and like a couple hours later, I check in with them and say, hey, how are we doing? And he said, well, we didn't get 5 offers like I was saying. We got 10 offers. 10 offers, and there were several offers that were better than your offer. Why don't you just resubmit your offer? We've decided to just take highest and best offers at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So I said, okay, I will get back to you. I'm going to talk to my buyer, and we'll get back to you before 10 a.m. So the buyer wanted to sleep on it because it happened at like 9 p.m. at night or 9:30 at night, right? The buyer said, look, I'm just going to sleep on this. I'm going to figure out what I want to do. I wake up. First thing in the morning, there's an email from him saying like, hey, this is what I want to do. And I go and I submit that offer just before 8 a.m. And the listing agent had said, you must get your highest and best offer in by 10 a.m. Right? So, okay, we get it in there 2 hours early. And he texts me back right away and he says, oh, I'm sorry, we accepted another offer. Might that agent have been able to negotiate an even higher price with my buyer or some other buyer? Like if he had gone around and said, hey, before I accept this offer, maybe I'll like pick up the phone. Maybe I'll at least send a text message and say, hey, I'm about to like take this offer here. Do you in fact have an improved offer for me? Did that agent do that? No. And if that agent didn't do that with me, guess what? He probably did not do that with anybody else, right? And then did he go back to who was the highest offer and say, okay, some other buyer came up, will you come up? No, the agent didn't do even that, right? The agent just said, I want highest and best offers, and he set a deadline, and then he accepted an offer well before that deadline. I'm not sure when. So here's what happened is that agent, first of all, ethical breach because he's supposed to have clear and honest communication with everybody. And he did not because he said he would wait until 10 a.m. So shame on you. Little wrist slap there for you on that one, buddy. But the other one is he did not do the fiduciary responsibility to his seller to get all the highest amount of money he could possibly get for his client from the other buyers, because I know if he didn't reach out to me, and we could have done better, we probably could have gotten the seller more money. He didn't do that with anybody else, and then he didn't go back to the buyer that he ultimately chose the offer from. And he could possibly have gotten tens of thousands or more dollars for this listing had he just done that. You see, so negotiation does matter even in a market where like houses just sell themselves, and you can sell it in a jiffy and you get 10 offers. Just because you get 10 offers does not mean that you get the very highest price. And so I would say that seller chose the wrong realtor. So the moral of the story is that the realtor that you choose to help you sell your property does in fact make a very big difference if you are choosing a realtor who really is different, who really cares and understands what it means to fight hard for the seller to get the most money possible for your property. And let's face it, that is, I'm sure, what you really, really expect of your realtor. All right, listen, if you've enjoyed this video, I know that you're going to enjoy some of these videos over here. Check these out. These are my most popular videos. Please go ahead, take a look. I'm sure you will enjoy some of them at least. And listen, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate that. And also, please stay tuned.